Oh my goodness, where did the week go? People of Earth, how are you? Good evening and welcome to episode 80 of the House Arrest Concert Series. Nice and cold. With me, your host and sole performer, Bill Spence. I'm coming to you live from Laurel, New Jersey. And let's just get started on the groovy show, shall we? When I saw you, I knew that I was gonna love you. Every day I thought of how I'm gonna love you. Now you're here next to me, and ecstasy is a reality. I feel good when you are near. I'm alive 'cause you are here, and we're working on a groovy thing, baby. Working on a groovy thing, working on a groovy thing, baby. Let's not rush it, take it slow. Before I saw you, I knew my lips were only wasted. 'Cause you've got the sweetest kiss I ever tasted. Music moves us along. Your arms around me are snug and warm. Happiness is in my soul. I'm about to lose control, and we're working on a groovy thing, baby. Working on a groovy thing, working on a groovy thing, baby. Let's not rush it, take it slow. Now you're here next to me, and ecstasy is a reality. I feel good when you are near. I'm alive 'cause you are here, and we're working on a groovy thing, baby. Working on a groovy thing, working on a groovy thing, baby. Let's not rush it, oh, we'll take it slow. Working on a groovy thing, baby. Working on a groovy thing, working on a groovy thing, baby. Working on a groovy thing, working on a groovy thing, baby. Let's not rush it, take it slow. Number 20 hit in 1969 from The Fifth Dimension. It was actually in 1968 a number 62 hit from a woman named Patty Drew, who was kind of big a little bit in the Chicago area. But the Fifth Dimension popularized that song on their album, The Age of Aquarius. And it might be the age of Aquarius, might still be the age of Pisces. The astrologers' opinions are mixed on that. But, I don't care. It's a groovy age. It's groovy. That song It was written by a guy named Roger Atkins and another guy called Neil Sedaka. I mean, can't you just tell? I can. So, let me go check my recording device and then we'll talk about what kind of day it is, what kind of a year it is, what kind of a week it's been, blah, blah, blah. All right. Yay. My groovy audience riding the groove line. Happy to have you here on this November 20th, 2021. It is National Peanut Butter Fudge Day. It's National Child's Day and also National Adoption Day. It seems the two of those go together. Finally, it is National Absurdity Day. So do something wacky today, will you? In 1959, on this day, WABC in New York fired Alan Freed in the payola scandal, the pay-for-play scheme that he would not admit to. Alan Freed was one of the early popularizers of the term rock and roll and the music rock and roll. And he preferred to give people like the original black versions of songs rather than the whitewashed ones that mainstream radio was putting out. But Alan Freed died very young, in 1965 actually. A couple of birthdays today. Joe Walsh is 74 years old. And Dwayne Allman would have been 75 years old had he not died 50 years ago. Can you imagine that? At the age of 24. And also in 1947, Princess Elizabeth married Philip Mountbatten. So, 74th anniversary today of Queen Elizabeth II. And a lesser famous, well, maybe not lesser famous, but certainly pales, their time together is only 20 years. But in 2001, on this day, George Stephanopoulos and Allie Wentworth got married, so happy anniversary to you two kids. And let's see, Peanut Butter Fudge, Joe Walsh. 1945, the Nuremberg trials started in Nuremberg, Germany. 24 Nazis, high-level Nazis, were charged with war crimes, and less than a year later, 12 of them were convicted, sentenced to death. And speaking of death, in 2003, Phil Spector was indicted for the murder of actress Lana Clarkson. And, was beginning his Wall of Steel phase, I guess. Did I get this right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Down in Jamaica, they got lots of pretty women. Steal your money, then they break your heart. Lonesome Sue, she's in love with old Sam. She take him from the fire to the frying pan. On and on, she just keeps on trying. And she smiles when she feels like crying. On and on, on and on. On and this time is the last time it can make you feel so bad. But if you know it, show it. Hold on tight, don't let her say goodnight. Got the sun on my shoulders, my toes in the sand. My woman's left me for some other man. But I don't care, I'll just dream and stay tan. Toss up my heart and see where it lands. On and on, I just keep on trying. And I smile when I feel like dying. On and on, on and on, on and on, on and on, on and on. Number 11 hit in 1977 from Stephen Bishop from his first LP, Careless. A couple of weeks ago, I actually played another one of Stephen Bishop's numbers. I did one from Tootsie. It Might Be You. I actually heard this on the radio today. I said, yeah, I can play that. Where am I? Stephen Bishop, you might not know, he wrote the theme to the movie Animal House, which is, I mean, it's what you expect the theme to the movie Animal House would sound like, and he sings it. He also played a bit part in Animal House. He played charming guy with guitar, who was sitting in a stairwell being charming to all the girls, and John Belushi, of course, grabbed his guitar and smashed the crap out of it. So, it's Child's Day, it's Adoption Day. Somehow this number 16 hit from 1970 came to mind. Also, I saw a commercial for Giant, who has co-opted this song these days. You who are on the road must have it cold that you can live by, and so you kill yourself because the past is just a goodbye. Teach the children well the father's hell to slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they pick is the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. Know they love you. Tender years can't know the fears that your elders grew by. So please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well one they pick is the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. Know they love you. Written by Graham Nash back when he was a Holly, but never recorded with the Hollies. Recorded with Crosby, Stills, and Young on Deja Vu. Jerry Garcia plays a slide guitar, pedal steel on that song. And actually in return for doing that, the CSNY boys helped the Dead Boys with their vocal harmonies on their next couple of albums, Working Man's Dead and American Beauty. So, what a groovy thing to do. And, yeah, what a groovy way to celebrate Child's Day. Next one is regarded by this artist as his best work. It reached number 2 in 1976 in the US. It was held back from the number 1 slot by Rod Stewart's Tonight's the Night. It was number 1 in Canada, actually. Story, a nice little waltz about thing that took place in 1975, although it seems like it could apply to a very older kind of event. But legend lives on from the Chippewa down, or the big lake they call Gitchigumi. The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. The good ship and crew was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was bride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and good captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms, and they left fully loaded for Cleveland. And later that night, when the ship's bell rang, could be the north wind they've been feeling. The wind in the wires made a telltale sound, and a wave broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. Dawn came late, and the breakfast had to wait, when the gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind. When summertime came, the old cook came on deck, saying, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed ya." At 7 p.m. a main hatchway it's been good to know ya. Captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night, when its lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? Searchers say they might have made Whitefish Bay if they put 15 more miles behind her. It might have split up, or it might have capsized. It may have burrowed deep and took water. And all that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings, the rooms of her ice-water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams, the islands and bays offer sportsmen. And further below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. And the iron boats go, as the mariners all know, when the gales of November remembered. Musty old hall in Detroit they prayed, the Mariners' Sailors' Cathedral. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend is sung from the Chippewa down on the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early. Gordon Lightfoot, Canada's treasure, still is, I suppose, at I think he's 80-ish, maybe 81. Big fan of recreational sailing on the Great Lakes. But the Great Lakes did take the SS Edmund Fitzgerald on November 10th, 1975. The ship was owned by Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, and was named after the president of that company, Edmund Fitzgerald. Was the SS Edmund Fitzgerald. Gordon Lightfoot's favorite song. Not his most popular, or most successful. That came a couple of years earlier in 1974. And I can see her laying back in a satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess. it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. I can picture every move that a man could make. Getting lost in a love that is your first mistake. Sundown, you better take care. If I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sometimes I think it's a sin, but I feel like I'm winning when I'm losing again. I can see her looking fast in her faded jeans. She's a hard-loving woman, got me feeling mean. Sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. Sundown, you better take care. If I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sundown, you better take care. If I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel like I'm winning when I'm losing again. Sundown, you better take care. If I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sundown, written about the affair that Gordon Lightfoot had with one Kathy Smith. Do you remember Kathy Smith? She was a Canadian groupie, occasional actress, occasional backup singer. She had an affair with Gordon Lightfoot. That's what that song was about. She also had affairs with several of the members of the band. But in 1982, she was the one that injected John Belushi with the fatal combination of heroin and cocaine at the Chateau Marmont, I believe. So, John Belushi, Animal House, and lots of synchronicity going on here tonight. And one more cover, then I'll do mine, and I'll let you go. Speaking of synchronicity, we're talking about I was talking about the Nazi war criminals going on trial, but back in World War I, in Spandau, Germany, there was an armory and a munitions factory, and one of the big items that came out of there was the Spandau machine gun. And very gruesome thing was named after the sight of soldiers writhing on barbed wire as they were being pelted by the Spandau machine gun. And that was known as Spandau Ballet. All just gruesome. So true, funny how it seems, always in time, but never in line for dreams. Head over heels, went toe to toe. This is the sound of my soul. This is the sound. I bought a ticket to the world, but now I've come back again. Why do I find it hard to write the next line? I want the truth to be said. I know this much is true. I know this much is true. With a thrill in my head, a pill on my tongue, dissolve the nerves that have just begun. Listening to Marvin all night long. This is the sound of my soul. This is the sound. Always slipping from my hands. Sands of time I've been told. Take your seaside arms and write the next line. I want the truth to be known. I know this much is true. I know this much is true. I bought a ticket to the world, but now I've come back again. Why do I find it hard to write the next line? I want the truth to be said. I know this much is true. I know this much is true. This much is true. This much is true. I know this much is. This much is true. This much is true. I know this much is true. This much is true. This much is true. I know this much is true. Spandau Ballet, Gary Camp and his brother, a bunch of other people. They played this song at Live Aid at Wembley Stadium in 1985. It was just a huge song. Certified in 2011 with over 4 million airplays. That's a lot of airplays. This next final song of the night, yay! Ice Gold is mine. I'm gonna put this on. And I'm gonna go here. It's called If I Didn't Have You. Also known to me as the Doo-Doo song. You'll see why. standing on the shore. Sun, you smile and the moon in your eyes, but I couldn't have asked for more. And I didn't know what I'd do if I couldn't have you. Any other couldn't shine a light. They don't know what love's all about. Lately I've discovered I need you day and night. You give me something I can't live without. And I wouldn't know what I'd do if I didn't have you. Yes, I wouldn't know what I'd do if I didn't have you. Girl, I'm so glad I found you. Gonna build my world around you. Let my loving arms surround you. And I'm never gonna let you go. No, I'm never gonna let you go. 'Cause if I didn't have you, oh, the sky would not be blue. Every day would be as black as night. If I didn't have you, I wouldn't know what to do. 'Cause loving you makes everything alright. And I wouldn't know what I'd do if I didn't have you. Yes, I wouldn't know what I'd do if I didn't have you. Wouldn't know what I'd do if I didn't have you. Didn't have you. 8:10 seems to be about the running time of House Arrest concert these days. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm doing some pre-holiday visiting tomorrow. Well, oh hell, it's holiday visiting tomorrow, and I've been baking all afternoon. I've made a couple of Indiana sugar cream pies. The recipe I got from one of my Hoosier cousins. And a couple of mincemeat pies. And I've made my own pie crusts from my mom's recipe. And geez, the ones I made last week to try out seemed pretty good. These seem pretty good, and I hope the recipients enjoy them. And I hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving with family, friends, food, and frivolity. The 4 F's. And I'll frickin' see you next week for episode 81, the House Arrest Concert series. Till then, ciao, ciao.